All right. All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Matt Lange with eXp Realty, and we're just doing a quick case study video of the Campbell family. They were in a kind of unique situation. I know this video will be beneficial to a lot of people because they're in the same situation, of selling their house and trying to buy their next house all in the same period, which is can be complicated and a lot of moving parts going on. Again, I just want to introduce the Campbell family and let them y'all just tell just a brief description who y'all are, and then and you can describe how we even met, because we didn't know each other before this.
Well, I'm Sid Campbell. This is my wife Chastity. We were wanting to get rid of our house to get a bigger house. We have a growing family. We took a few pictures. We put it on Zillow. The next morning, I get a phone call from Matt, and he said, "Hey, would you like me to help you sell your house through real estate?" Because he's got the power to be able to push it out a little bit further than just the regular average person is, because he is in real estate. We set up a meeting. He come to the house. We went through everything. He put it on the market. In 3 days, we had a hit. Yeah, we had a little trouble. It fell through. No big deal. But we got it back out on the market, and we got it under contract, and it stuck. He is a very, very good realtor. I recommend him to anybody.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about the trouble a little bit, because I think that's something people should know about. Not everything goes smoothly, and there's so many moving parts and things that you can't control, and there's so many people involved in a transaction. You've got title company, lenders, and everyone else, the other buyer's agent, the people. They're all inspectors and everything else trying to manage that. In our case, probably the title or the lender probably didn't do the greatest job of vetting their people. Just talk about that. That's kind of how that all went down, and
yeah, I mean they were from, I think, East Tennessee, something like that. But I mean, they were saying that the house needed this and that and the other, and he was on the total opposite end of the state, has never even seen the house. And the inspectors come out and they're like, "No, everything's fine with the roof," because the guy he was telling the folks that were going to buy the house that it was going to have a new roof on it, going to have gutters on it. We had an inspector come out and did a full inspection. They said the roof is fine. The house has never had gutters on it. There's no problems with erosion. You'll be fine with it. It was nitpicky stuff like that.
Yep.
But I mean,
then the second one, we were within 2 weeks of our closing date, and come to find out that also fell through. They wasn't able to buy the house. Like
they still owed money to people, and they did not let their lender know, and the lender did not catch it. The government caught it.
Yep.
On trying to get everything done.
Yeah. Which put us in a bad situation. The first people, I think, were just unreasonable, and they were getting a lot of bad information, because they were saying these things are required by the government to get if you're going to get an FHA or a rural development loan. They were saying that, and that was totally untrue. I even called the appraisers and talked to them, and had them send me the checklist, and they even told me that that's untrue. So they were getting very bad information. Either they were getting very bad information, or they're trying to pull one over everyone else.
Right.
Which could have been like, if a situation, if you're going alone by yourself, you don't know who to talk to, who to call, and stuff like that. The second case, it was, I don't think the lenders vetted their people good enough, because that should have been something they caught on the front end.
Well, yeah.
Instead of 2 weeks before
close.
closing.
2 weeks before close.
We had actually started packing, and
we had already started moving stuff.
Yeah.
We already had some stuff moved.
Yep.
And then here we are. We're like, well, crap. Now we're going to have to probably go back over to the house that we're trying to get and move that stuff back if this does not go through.
Yep.
And which we got, and on our part, we were very fortunate that the one that we were buying our new house from was a very lenient person that worked with us through all of this. And I mean, kudos to you, Matt, because when one fell through, you busted your butt and you got another one on there. It fell through and you said, I got somebody.
Yep. And that's the thing is, like you said, you can't control everything, but you have to when like I knew y'all's situation, so it was, we've got to find somebody because y'all are moving into y'all's house that y'all want to be in. Y'all got a growing family, and that's where y'all need to be.
Yes.
And I felt responsible, to get y'all there and get y'all there as soon as possible and make sure nothing else is going to happen during this process, that we can control.
Right.
And it is very appreciated. You don't know how much that it meant to us that you busted your butt like you did to get it done. And you said from the beginning, we'll get this house sold, and you did.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any doubt that we'd get it sold. And I didn't think it'd take us very long either. I think the whole time we were actually really on the market during the 3 times, it was like, I think it might have been 14 days at the most, all
At
together.
At the most. And that was going between the first one and the second one.
Yep.
Whenever the third one got on, it was, well, heck, you called me that morning and told me that the other one had fell through. We had been off the phone maybe 30 minutes, and you called me back, hey, man, I want to show your house.
Yep.
Can I show you your house? I said, go. Yep. Get on out there.
So that was, I hate making them calls because it's always difficult, because right. I know it puts everyone in a bind, and then, and I can just feel for people. I just cringe when people tell me that I'm the one that has to make the call to tell you. Every time I get it, I just cringe having to make that call because it's not an easy call, especially for y'all. I mean, we were 2 weeks away from closing. Y'all have already started moving and everything else. And so I understand the pain that's associated with just making that, and it's never easy to sell and buy at the same time either. That's
no
never easy process.
No.
Everything has to play out in the right order.
Yes.
At the right time.
You got to make the only downfall to it is you got to make sure all your ducks are in a row before you make any drastic changes on moving furniture, this, that, and the other.
Yep.
Make sure everything is good to go, and other than that, roll with it.
Yep, I think that is. You just roll with. You got to roll with the punches, and then if that's where you want to be. That's what you do. You make it happen.
And you told me a bunch of times, because there was a bunch of conversations that me and you had over the phone, and I think you could tell that I was getting a little discouraged, and you told me, don't worry about this. This is just a little hiccup. We're gonna get through it, and we did.
Yep.
And we did.
Well, I mean, when you're dealing with selling, you're buying and selling at the same time. You're dealing with just selling or buying it alone you're dealing with a lot of different people. Now you just double that because you've got everyone involved in 2 transactions, so you've got multiple. You even got twice as many people involved in it.
Right.
So talk about how, like, once we got in on the contract, just talk about the communication that went on, in between, the time we went on the market, time we went under contract, and the time under contract to close, how the communication was.
Oh, heck, me and you, we talked numerous times.
We're best friends now.
Yeah. Hey, you coming to the birthday party, right? It's next weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I would text you, are you sure? Is everything still good? Have you heard anything? And just you keeping us updated on everything.
That right there is what it made me feel good to know that I had somebody that was looking out for what I was trying to get done.
And keeping us updated
Yes.
on how it was going.
Because, I mean, both of us, we were at work every day, which you was at work too, but this is what you do for a living. It's hard for us to be able to go to work and still be able to try to keep up with everything and all that. And you pretty much, you did all that for us.
Yep.
But that's what you get paid to do.
Yeah. Well, I always tell people communication, it don't matter what line of work you're in, communication is the biggest issue that businesses have and employees have and everything else. And I view the relationship, anyone that a client with me is, we're in a business partnership, and communication is the number one thing we should always be doing. We should always be on the same page, and our goals are aligned. My goals are to get you into your house that you want to be in. That's it. To make that happen and do what we've got to do to make that happen.
Right. And
And
another big thing is the ease of communication. Because, like, I could just, a lot of times, I'm either, the only time I have time to call is, like, on my way to work or a quick break or something. So a lot of times I would just shoot you a text, like, hey, is everything still going okay? And that makes a big difference,
Yep.
too. Just,
yeah, the communication was spot on. If there was any questions, all we had to do was call or text you, and even with a phone call, if you didn't get to answer right then, it may have been 5 or 10, maybe 10 minutes at most. You would call us right back.
Yep. So during this whole process, from start to beginning, what would you say kind of like the biggest lesson learned, during the process?
Have you do it. And go.
don't get too far ahead of yourself
Yes.
before papers are signed.
Yes. Don't put all your eggs in one basket just to be on the safe side. Just don't get in a hurry. You cannot rush this. It is not a rushing thing. If you're doing a government loan, you can forget it because they're going to go at their speed and they don't care about you.
Yep, that's true. The government's the government. They're working on their timeline, not your timeline.
Right.
So, I appreciate y'all doing this, and I know this is going to be beneficial because there's so many people we come in contact that are in the same situation as y'all.
Yeah.
They found the house that they want, but they've got a house to sell to get there, and it's a slippery slope during that process. And to get to that,
you get that thing on the market, you get the good pictures done like you did. You and your photographer, y'all come in, you shot wonderful pictures, you got it out on the market, and you spread it everywhere.
Yep.
It was everywhere. I had folks that I have not seen in years that I went to school with. Man, I didn't even know you had your house up for sale. I was just scrolling through, and it popped up on, it was on Facebook, it was on Zillow, it was on Realtor, it was everywhere. You blasted it out there a whole lot further than me and Chastity ever could with trying just to sell it on our own.
Yep. And that key is to attract people to your house,
Yes.
And that, by the marketing and how it looks online, that is so crucial, that is the crucialest part right there is to make it stand out from everyone else's property.
Right. And it really seems like it took a little while to get it sold, but really and truthfully, if you get down to the brass tacks of it, it didn't. Because we had the first two, the contracts fell through. You can't control that. The last one with the Buffords, you got it in contract. You showed it on a Friday. I signed the contract on Saturday, and we got it done.
Yep.
There was no hiccups in that one. We got lucky on that. There was no hiccups in that one. They had all their ducks in a row. We had our ducks in a row, ready to rock and roll. And
pretty much, the time spent selling our house was spent waiting on loan approvals and stuff to go through. It wasn't waiting to see, who's going to put. We had the offers there, and then once we signed the contract, it was just a matter of waiting on the loan approvals.
Yep.
Just got to wait on all the paperwork.
Yep. That's the longest process is you're waiting on, the loan to get clear to close and so everyone can move on so you get to the closing table and everyone can move on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, I appreciate y'all doing this, and I know this is going to, help a lot of people out, because they're in the same situation y'all were. And like I said, we're now we talk so much, we're friends, it's like so, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all being just awesome clients and family now, and if y'all need anything, just reach out and, if I need anything, I'm going to reach out too. So don't be surprised.
Hey, your number's saved in my phone, so we're good.
Yep. Hey, and I appreciate y'all doing this.
Hey, not a problem, man. Not a problem. We appreciate you.
Yep.